Let's see if the person you're thinking of is thinking of you now. Do they want to take the initiative to contact you? We have 3 choices on our desktop. This is group 1, this is group 2, this is group 3. Everyone, maintain your inner calm and choose the group with which you feel the strongest energy. You can silently recite his name or leave his initials in the leader. If you haven't decided yet, you can press pause. Of course, this is just a general analysis. Definitely comply with everyone. You can also draw a set of their own cards to look deeper and ask again. Well, finally, my friends, let's look at the first group. Choose the first group, that is, friends of our placard. Firstly, look at the mug. The person you're thinking of in your heart is definitely you, or some of you have observed the evil diving lot before. It might be that he has already established contact or re-established it. He should be thinking about you. He might feel willing to do so. And you have a fresh start. In this context, I can actually see, we feel from the surface of the cards, there is the appearance of the Shenbei figure, and below is our Shenbei word. There are a lot of elements in you guys. It can also be seen that you guys should have a deep feeling in the early stage, because for us, the element of water actually represents emotions in our sequence, right? So there are 2 types of feelings in your case. One way to understand this is through one-on-one relationships, like relationships between men and women, romantic relationships. In the early stages, the foundation of feelings is equal. At the same time, you may have known each other for a long time, including you may have experienced many storms and many things. Certainly there have been such experiences, and now it might be, or to start discussing the other situation, might be a relationship or a cooperation at work. Tonight's bedtime stories. The relationship has stalled and now you want to start again. So when you think of the other person, they are actually thinking of you. They just want to have a fresh start with you.
Let's get started.
And if you're German, then we can feel it here because of us. In terms of the new currency, Hannah, it has actually become a reality. And Asians, something is to advance such a process as a thought or an idea. So, in the early stages, you guys must have already have gone through this thing. Then he might want to promote this feeling, and this thing has already been.
He's got a clear plan.
He's definitely thinking about you. He's wondering how to possibly proceed with his own affairs, when to promote. But recently, they might not reach out to you. This is a recent energy, right? After all, this is a public analysis. It can't fully meet everyone's situation, and there are some ideas and questions. You can draw cards individually to get some more specific, more detailed information, and some situations with you. It might be better because we just talked about it. We have a lot of water elements in ourselves, and it seems that there are some things he hasn't thought clearly yet. Or say there are some new he might want to know, because we have a moon here, and this information might be the things you talked about might also be between the 4 of you. He may still want to talk to you, because that is not very clear. Or it has some single chi, single uranium. So if the moon brand appears here, and then is followed by our inverted source, because the energy of the inverted source itself is a stagnation. Perhaps thinking, observing, or evaluating. The official website has energy, and there is also our Holy Grail. If he is in charge, it is also one that the accumulated state is such that the entire energy can actually show that he is thinking about you. Some things might be possible between you. The issues you want to discuss and communicate are about to start. When and how to start these specific ones. Moreover, he is very confident inside, so this thing may have a high chance of success. But now he has some concerns about details. Some problems haven't made the final decision, or to say haven't thought about it yet. There is also a possibility that he is waiting for you to contact him. In the near future, the possibility of this person contacting you is relatively small. Well, this is the first we gave. Let's move on to the second group in the interpretation of cards. The second group is the Friend of Our Direction card. From the overall arrangement, now think of this person between you two. There are two situations. One is the long distance situation where you can't see each other, or you haven't seen each other for a long time. The other situation is that your relationship might be, it is a state of stagnation. The stagnation may have been for a long time, but this person is still full of fantasies about your relationship, or a nice one. His longing is probably more optimistic, and too optimistic and beautiful. He might have overestimated you or your. Some current ideas may not be mastered yet. So this person is thinking about you, and he really is, because there appeared inside him.
Also, our scepter system might really want to contact you, especially recently. He might want to convey his...
I should be able to live stream this
A good aspect, for example, is the compound you care about, or you together go do something that he's thinking about you. He also wants to contact you. Maybe she's under a lot of pressure right now because we have a health wine card and our health queen card's graciness. The feeling these two cards give to me might be that he has hurt you early on, and also because our hand is one of ours. CB5, you think, right? CB5, formal. It signifies your relationship. That is, it may already be very weak in your heart, or you are already very hurt, and then the two of you are in a state of running to the east and west. He said he wants to contact you, but he might also be very afraid of your rejection, so his pressure is very high. I can only say that he is also, for this time, for example, to contact you or to send you messages, to take the initiative to show you good. There may be many nights cannot sleep thinking about it. This matter, in your heart, you might still feel like you might hurt him verbally, or you have to settle some early things with him. For example, the things he hurt you or some behaviors. But the situation is that he feels that if, such as the natural psychology will say, he believes that a good result he wants will appear under the condition of actively showing goodwill. Actually, this answer is already very clear, right? He is thinking about you now, and it's very likely that he will take the initiative to contact you or say, next might be some actions, but whether or not you want to accept it, it might be your own business. We feel that his thoughts may be a bit too... He might have hurt you deeply in the early stages. Isn't it optimistic? Now, because we have the meaning of the back row is that your current inner state may still not have calmed down, so you may still need to think for a while. That's our second. This is an answer to the second group. Next, let's look at the third group. The third group is also our friend from this signboard. Put it on the overall card surface. The person you think of should be a family member of yours. Say your parents, children, brothers or sisters. He is now thinking about here, including actually he's in a rather sad and painful situation at home because he is carrying
He has encountered some things
It's
because
about
of this.
hurting him to the point where he can't bear it. So he might want you to provide him with some direction or guidance. Once I hear your advice, he should be in a rather confused stage because he might be with the previous. What he is thinking about is a gap. He feels that he has worked hard, or his efforts have been quite good. His skills are also pretty good. Because we have a newbie in here, frankly, I don't know what specific incident has happened to you guys, but I just feel it.
Yes,
The blow should still be quite large, or quite unexpected for him.
So he mostly wants to hear some ways you can give
Some directional guidance will appear. So I can feel here either you have a family relationship or a subordinate relationship with the person in your heart since childhood. Actually, he hopes that you can give him some guidance, but let's see. Does he want to contact you? He just wants to contact you, and he only hopes to get an answer from you. It's a state of being to the point of death, but he might not. You take the initiative. Why contact you? Because he has encountered this difficulty. In fact, he can solve it by himself, and he should be able to find it quickly. He will find an answer, find a method. In a painful state, there is a new direction, a new beginning, and he is quite happy to go with the people around him. He is really himself, for striving to do the thing he wants to do. If you saved yourself, you can say that you really have achieved a state of self-execution of vengeance. He can overcome this difficulty by himself, so speaking of it, it is possible to contact you, but he may not. He might not speak to you anymore if he takes the initiative. He might encounter this difficulty when you go to pick him up. His mood has already improved greatly, or you could say that his work and studies are going well. However, he might not contact you. Why? Because he has already passed the period he considers more difficult. So he felt there was no need to discuss this with you anymore. So our third group friend, actually Wisdom Face Tower, you'll know the face, eyes and soul. You can be assured that though he says he has encountered some difficulties, he has overcome them. His life is pretty good now, and overall, he's doing well. You can bless him with confidence. Okay, this is our answer to the third group. At this point, our 3 sets of cards have been analysed, and I am very grateful that everyone can watch until the end. See you next time.
Bye.